There we go, that's better. So now I'm gonna get rid of all this temporary stainless steel hardware. It gets all scratched up while I'm assembling it. And I'm going to start swapping it all out with nice titanium hardware. This knife already has a bunch of titanium that's blue. I'm still going to re-anodize them because the 2 pocket clip screws are not anodized yet, and I want to make sure they're all the exact same color blue. And this one, I'm gonna do all new hardware. So now all that's left on these is grinding the lock face, which I don't know why, but I saved that for last because I like to torture myself, and all the finish work. So I guess I'll grind the lock faces. Alright, now that I have the functionality of these knives just how I want them, I can start really working on the finish work. Alright, so I'm sitting here looking at these knives, and I really like how the dark gray and the green are coming out, especially with that polished pivot screw. I think that looks awesome, especially once I get the blue hardware in there. But I'm not too super excited about the way the dark gray looks against this wood. So I think I'm going to blacken all this titanium. So let's give it a shot, see what happens. I'm very happy that I went ahead and did that. If this was zirconium, it would get really dark, but that's about as dark as titanium gets, or at least as dark as I know how to get it. But yeah, dark gray looks great with the green and blue, and the blackened tie looks great with the oak, and also the polished accents on the pivots looks good on both of them. So I'm super happy. Next, let's carbidize the lock faces. All right, so I'm sitting here looking at this knife and I'm thinking, man, it sure would look good if instead of the whole blade being stone washed, if I went and did a belt satin on the bevels here. So I think I'm gonna do that. It's a little extra work, and I did a lot of work to get the stone washed like I like, but I just think this knife will look awesome with it like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. All right, when I do this, I like to use 3 different conditioning belts. So I got the coarse one on there, medium, and then fine. All right, so there's a couple little scratches that I can see under this bright LED that I wasn't seeing out there, so I'm gonna go hand sand those out and then come back in here. Most belt finishes really are hand finished, so go figure, huh? All right, got them. Let's put this finish on. All right, I think that's gonna look a lot better. So let's get some edges on these blades and etch the maker's mark. Alright guys, the maker's mark's etched, the edges are razor sharp on these knives. All it's have to do is clean up all the parts, do the final assembly, film the epic finished product montage, which I'm going to show here in a second. But first, I really wanted to give a special thank you to the 30 or 40 or so of you that have already watched these videos. It really means a lot to me that you find enough interest in what I'm doing here in my garage to sit through these videos and watch them. It is a lot of work on top of the knife making. I would really appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, send them to your friends. It really does mean a lot to me and encourages me to keep doing them. I know they're a little bit choppy, a little bit out of focus at times, but I promise I'll get better with them. Just like knife making, your first knife isn't gonna be the best, and your next knife is always gonna be better than your last knife. Apply that same principle to the videography, and hopefully I just get better and better and better as it goes. Stay tuned, because the next knife that I'm gonna work on is gonna be a very special knife, and I'm going to prototype my new design, Strix. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen drawings of it, but not only that, I'm gonna do it with a very special piece of Damascus, which is gonna come from my friend DKS Knives over on Instagram, who's Forge of Fire champion. Can't remember what season or episode. I'll get back to you on that one. So stay tuned, watch that epic build. Now, without further ado, here's the finished product.